like this answer. But I'd love to hear your theories. Surely there's more than just these four options. But in the end, there's only really one answer that I'm confident in, and that we can't confidently see for sure why Melania fought Radahn. Not yet, anyway. But whatever the reason, it must have been a good one, because it was during this battle that Melania sacrificed everything.
I must return to Melania. The will of this.
Stop.
Sense of self. It allowed her to resist the call of the scarlet rod, the pride she abandoned, to meet Radahn's measure.
In Elden Ring's story trailers, we see this legendary fight play out. Cleanrod Knights finally arrive with Melania facing off against the Redmane Knights and manage to plunge a ton of spears into Radahn during their clash. You can actually see these spears still sticking out of his back to this day. Then, Melania and Radahn appear to be the only two left standing. Melania sacrifices her prosthetic arm to get close to Radahn, gripping her blade and plunging it into both of them, giving us a close-up view of the two characters. Here, Radahn looks monstrous, which I theorize could again be because he's tainted with the madness of a great rune, though that is just speculation. And we can also see Melania's lips moving here, muttering some final words, or perhaps the incantation for the Scarlet Aeonia, which envelops herself and Radahn, putting an end to their fight. In this video's first chapter, we talked extensively about Melania's battle against the Scarlet Rot within her, but in this moment, she seems to lose. She allows the Scarlet Rot to take hold. Millicent, who is a great parallel to Melania, says that this is when she sacrificed her dignity, her sense of self, her will, and her pride. Melania did all of this just so that she could meet Radahn's measure. Thus did the Scarlet Rot explode outwards, infecting Radahn and the very land itself, as their battle came to a horrific standstill. In the end, neither party was in a state to continue fighting, so technically Melania didn't lose, so she was technically still undefeated. Few survived the Battle of Aeonia, but one who did was the Cleanrod Knight Finlay, who, in an unimaginable act of heroism, carried the slumbering form of Melania all the way back to the Haley Tree. They managed this alone, fending off all manner of foes along the way. But back in the center of Caitlin, Melania's scarlet bloom remained. The nearby phantom's dialogue reads, "Sublime, I tell you, the very first flower of Aeonia bloomed on this very spot. Melania, may you blossom into a goddess." In the present day, Caelid features at its center a giant tree that spirals in a similar manner to Melania's first scarlet bloom, so it probably is the same scarlet bloom. As the Phantom says, this was the very first flower of Aeonia, and the beginning of the scarlet swan in this land, and at the very center of that is another curious thing. This boss called Commander O'Neill, who carries the Commander's Standard, which reads, "Even after his lord was fled, Commander O'Neill continued to brandish this flag in the devastation of the rot-eaten field of battle. The sole veteran remembers this battle. It's hard for me to say exactly whose side O'Neill would have been on. He summons the spirits of exiled soldiers, who themselves have no real affiliation to speak of, though I will say that you can summon one of Millicent's sisters to help you in fighting against O'Neill, which might suggest that he is opposed to the idea of fighting.